Lots of times we talk about addiction in terms of dopamine, and it's tough to really know what dopamine is. But what we do know about dopamine is dopamine's a natural chemical that our body produces to really give us pleasure and to get us doing things that we need to do. And you can see why people would go overboard with dopamine, because there is something that inherently feels good about it. And our brain reinforces that, and it should, and we want it to. So lots of things bring dopamine that we do on a daily basis. We actually watch this phenomenon happen with cell phones. Yeah, so the other day I was with my daughter, and we were at the playground, and I was spending time with her, right, like every good dad does. And my phone dinged, so I checked it. And so I'm sitting there looking at my phone, and my daughter walks up to me, and she's like, "Dad, put your phone away. I thought we were spending time together." And what we find is our brain actually does that, where we'll start to feel that there's a message or the need to check, and that checking behavior comes from dopamine in the brain. So we've trained ourselves that we need to check, and then we start to get low in dopamine, and we need another rush, and we want to check. A lot of games that they make today on Facebook and those kind of games, they're made to keep you there. So they post notifications that they send to your phone telling you, hey, your bird's dying, you need to feed it, right? Or whatever it is, or your crops aren't growing unless you feed them, but they want you coming back and back and back. That's what we're finding, is there's all these new process addictions that are occurring with media, social media, binge viewing with videos, and it really is about that it creates a rush of dopamine, and then we continue to go back for it. Versus if you've got somebody in the family, especially a daughter or a son, any family member that's struggling with addiction, it's critical to know that there is a level of neurochemical piece that plays. And addiction in and of itself is such a shaming thing, right? And as a family member and somebody that's trying to support somebody, it's easy to fall in this pattern of being the person that provides the shame. And so kind of understanding the neurochemical piece, understanding that dopamine does reinforce and it does create these intense urges, it helps you on the one hand to be able to understand an addiction and to understand it is intense and it is real. And on the other hand, I would hope it applies a framework to be able to give some compassion and empathy and validation and understanding. It doesn't mean we enable the addiction, but at least we can have a framework versus just get over it, or you're stupid, or why is this happening? Because the reality is, at some level, we can all relate. Being able to have some kind of framework to understand that, something happened in this person's life emotionally that they were struggling with and fell into the addiction, and they need somebody to help provide some connection to help them get out.